Hi, Scorpio, and welcome to your June 2023. This read is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Or Venus, right? Let's take these three. They just said this is what we need to do here. Oh my God, look at that, right? Sometimes as readers, we just have to go for it. So that's what you're doing. You're going for it. You've been thinking about how you're going to go for it. Maybe perhaps for some of you Scorpions, you're thinking about who you want to be and go with, as well as a new direction, a new start, a new engagement. Maybe that has been part of something that you've been contemplating. How do I do it? How do I say it? What do I say? This could be Scorpio moons as well. How do I say it? What do I say? Something new's coming in. You've been working on something, maybe behind the scenes, about a relationship, about someone that you're with, that you're thinking about, right? And how you want to interpret the other person's thoughts. There may be some issues about interpretation of thoughts, how one thinks, how one what their beliefs are. Do they work together with yours? And can we find a happy place of medium meeting in the middle, right? Can we find this happy place of being in the middle? I wanted to say mediumship, so some of you are dealing with someone who's a medium or going to one. Okay, let's get more. Let me see, hold on. Deer is, our deer gives us peace. We have a fertile time together right now within a relationship. Some of you like to cook mushrooms. And we do always have, for some Scorpios, you always have a watchful eye on another, right? It's kind of like, you know, they don't see you a lot, but they see you. Okay, let me use the vice versa deck. And let's continue with Scorpio's reading. What else does Spirit have to tell us? The silver lining, right? Definitely a silver lining where many believe that, you know, some believe there are no silver linings, but look at this. Wow, look at that. The same ace. Now, why is it reversed? Why is it reversed? In this deck, it's reversed because it's still an ace. It's still a new beginning, but this is joining with another, which is right here. Joining with another. Is it a business deal, a business offer? Is it working together? Is it collabing in some sort of business sense? What is it, right? What is it that makes this relationship totally special? I mean, two aces. Are you kidding? And we do have these two gentlemen that are cloaked in green. So this pentacle, which is all green, green obviously is the go light, right? You're going for it. You're going to tell someone how, you know, what you've been thinking, how you've been thinking, what you want, what you need, and or vice versa, right? It's all laying the cards out on the table. Let's get a couple more cards for Scorpios, right? It's no more hiding out, no more not seeing the truth and the true value that resides in another. This could be, do you see not only another's true value, your value? Has that been a conflict, if you will, of interest as to what someone's air of proposed identifiable value? Right? Two people are now on the same page, two aces, and this is what we've been working on. Okay, let's keep going. It's been a long struggle, but we're not going to take this with us. We're leaving this behind. We are going to leave this behind because you know it may be difficult for a minute, and that's what some of you are concerned with. It could be that you've been thinking about how to get this ball rolling, like, you know, a new house. I mean, a new property. You have here a property right here. There's a home. Someone's worried about, you know, am I, or is someone going to be able to subsidize the remaining value of what's required in a couple, right? You work with me, I work with you. I pay these bills, you pay those bills, of equality. That's why these two are here. This is about equality, equal time, equal effort, and let's resolve to agree equal amount of, you know, working together toward a future of having something like living together, etc. Okay? And I mean, that's what's been happening. So some of you haven't been really talking to, maybe a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius has been a little distant, right? Distant because someone is going for it, literally, and the other is trying to catch up. So a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Scorpio has been a little distant because there are issues that need to be put on the table. There are things that have to be said and discussed, and not for any other reason but to see, are we on and in agreement? That makes sense, right? I mean, two people have to work together in order to make it work. Of course. Who, by no means do we understand the value of the dollar, the value of what we've learned in childhood about the pentacles, about the dollar. You are getting into this, well, you know, I may not have been, okay, we have to say it here. I may not have been in living my childhood. Either you've, Scorpio, or another is telling you, or you're sharing your stories about your childhood and how you grew up, right? I'm going to put these down for a minute because we know that that is the issue, right? It's about how someone grew up and how another grew up. Two people that have grown up perhaps in different backgrounds, meaning, you know, our financial situation, right? One's financial situation is very different from the other. One had to really work hard for a living, and the other was probably more silver spooned, let's just say, right? And can we agree upon these things that need to be discussed in terms of, you know, I didn't want to like disclose, or maybe someone didn't want to make you feel bad, right? So no one wants to make you feel bad about how you were raised or how they were raised. But I mean, it's clear that this causes a little friction in so far as, okay, so how am I going to keep up with the bills, the etc. You know, I have to work harder and smarter, you know, that kind of thing. Is that why we haven't been really out there talking about it? Or really, maybe we're just, you or someone else hasn't been ready, or both, right? And then this beautiful feminine comes in to save the day, right? All the seeds that one has planted is going to be very financially independent. Someone is financially independent, and someone is worried that they aren't sure if they can keep up. Maybe the feminine that you're dealing with is financially independent, and you're like, wow, how am I going to do this? How am I going to contribute? Right? And here we have Aries, Leo, Sag. So what we have is someone who's very, very, I feel it's this woman who's like, she's working hard. You're working hard. If this is Leo, Aries, Sag as a moon sign, as your moon sign, you both are going to be working hard toward, look at masculine and feminine. Here we have masculine and feminine. The same story applies to you as well as to them. We work hard for what we earn. We may have differences of opinion about how we were brought up in our childhood, but that's not, we are going to seize, Spirit says we're seizing the moment to identify how we can work together. In doing so, we will grow these pentacles one by one, both of us working together as a team. Rightfully so, we're a team, right? I love that. And that has been the whole premise for why it's not like we don't want to talk about it. It's not sweeping the elephant, or sweeping the elephant, you know, knowing the elephants in the room. We know that. But we haven't had that discussion as to how we're going to proceed here in this relationship with the financial sector of our lives, right? You're moving in together. You have to have this conversation. These two people, or it's this one, the feminine that is, and or you with Leo, Aries, Sag in your moon sign, it's very obvious that we're both going to work together. Look at all the green here. Look at all the green. Do you know what I mean? So two people working really well together, two people working hard together and coming to an agreement. Maybe someone is going to find a financial base. This could be a third party opening up new doors for these to become the Nine of Pentacles. These two aces that you're both working on are going to flourish. You just have to believe that they will. You may have to both of you have to put in your fair share. It's right here. And that's been the issue that's coming either right now on the table and in the month of June. right? Let's talk about it. Let's find our strength. Let's be passionate about what we do, and as long as we have our strength and we come to an equal resolution and agreement, then, right? Then we're good to go. So these are things, or I mean, I'm going to say someone has more money coming in too. This could be money coming in that has not yet come in, but it will, right? It's only a matter of time for things to be uncovered, for things to flourish. Everything takes time. We don't get to the, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Okay, let me get a couple more cards on this beautiful. There we go. So we have the Justice and the Hierophant reversed. Justice for all in terms of commitment, your commitment, their commitment. It has to be a fair deal. We have to have, if we're going to make this commitment, we have to talk about it. We have to come to terms with both of our truths and be on the same page. So how will this pan out for Scorpios and who they're dealing with? Look at that. Well, the change of hands in terms of money, that's going to be something that we're going to have to talk about, because someone they don't feel they have enough. Someone wants to put, well, 5, right? 5 here. Someone's being asked to put in half of their fair share. Can you do that, Scorpio? Or can they? Someone has to put in their fair share, right? And here's the star. You know the stars are all aligned in order to put in our fair shares. Got it? So while one person is sitting on the ground with their head in their hand saying, oh my God, how am I going to afford this all? The other person is like, why don't you just let faith take over and everything will rectify? So you're being asked to have faith, both of you, quite frankly. Someone could be someone could be a star. Someone's in the limelight. That's what their job is. They're seen as that. Maybe you and or they are still needing to replenish. Let's see if that's you or them that needs more of, see? So it's you, or it's the masculine that needs to come out of this woe is me, right? Woe is me. I didn't grow up, or I don't want to not have, a level of comfort financially, and I don't want to spend all my money. I want to have a nest egg. Not only do I want to make money, but this person's tired and doesn't know if, like the masculine is tired and doesn't know if they can sustain. The feminine says, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I feel empowered. I'm empowered, and the masculine's not. So we have that back and forth, and that's why we have this. And that's why we have this. So the masculine, between the masculine and the feminine, we have someone who either is physically unable or mentally unable, or both. And you haven't had this conversation yet, so it's coming. In a day, in a month, right? This is June. Okay? So let's get one card for masculine, one card for feminine as to the outcome of the resolution. Okay, so the outcome is the Six of Swords. Someone may have to say, okay, if we can't come to a level of agreement and honesty and a level of truth, this is the feminine, I believe, leaving. So someone may, in June, it's June, be leaving. What's the masculine about? I don't want to talk about it. Something may happen where someone is set free because the other party cannot sustain a relationship, which it really did take kind of a turn, right? For, unfortunately, two people who can't come together. And it's because how they grew up financially, believing, and one has always believed in the power of their faith will uphold any challenge, and the other is, well, I don't want to work for the rest of my life, backpedaling. The outcome. The Magician. So, one person is saying, I don't think I can do it, and the other person is saying, I will do it. That's the outcome. This masculine may find and be able to find more resources that they didn't know they had. They have that pentacle. This is the masculine. Spirit wanted to say the masculine is maybe getting ready to do something that, that will empower them to work on this situation before the feminine walks out. Wow. Okay, let me get another card. Two cards here. So, Scorpio. So that conversation has to happen within the next week or some time in June or July, where we're talking about our finances, being together, and owning it. Owning it. The masculine is not ready to talk yet, though. See that? This is all masculine. The masculine is trying to put down more roots and plant more seeds, but in the meantime, they're not confident. So, Scorpio, it's either you or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Leo, Aries, Sag. If you're any of those sun and or moon signs, you're dealing with the inability right now for a compromise. So these two that are meant to be together, I'm going to take a card on the Two of Cups, please. Two of Cups are in a very difficult position. How deep is your love? And do we draw the line? Do we draw the line on a relationship just because? Do we draw the line on a relationship just because? What do we do? So, this looks like a celebration. I feel that Spirit was inclined to kind of like keep it on the low, on the DL, but it looks like a celebration will ensue where people are going to be coming in sharing their thoughts, sharing their feelings. Two people will come together to celebrate, and I feel it's going to be someone's probably going to walk or say that they can't handle it or do it, and then everything turns out. So maybe someone has to leave the situation first in order for the other to catch up. Something will come through for each one of you, right? It's just a matter of how you believe and who you believe in. And honestly, this is going to be extremely empowering, Scorpio, for you guys, because one party is, you're both trying to come to a compromise. And in doing so, you're sharing stories about your childhood and about the future as well, when it comes to where we stand, right? Okay, so this is about money and love. I went a little over on the time because I feel that it was extremely important for the connection to figure out, which will probably be, it's going to take time for the connection. Look at in Taurus, Mars, and Pluto. See that? So it's going to take time for the resources we need to allow the resources, and it may take a little time. It may take one step at a time in order to, like, we want to be practical, we want to be conservative, and we want to see exactly what we believe, which is right here, the beliefs of how things cost, what they cost, and the value of the thread between that horizon of money and the value that we seek in love. That's where it comes from. Are we going to confront it? Are we going to need to control it? Are we trying to have this? We are having a power struggle here. It's right here, Pluto. A power struggle comes in for two people because we need to confront the truth about how we were raised, how we see things from a different viewpoint, because one is very financially independent and the other is financially responsible and independently responsible. Like, they don't want to waste, perhaps they don't want to waste their nest egg. So we need to confront the costs of this going this way or that way, and how that's going to affect you in the heart of the matter. This is a very interesting read, Scorpios. I hope you share, and have a great month. Take care.